Hello, and welcome to the Jalen Brunson episode of the Hoop Theory Podcast, aka episode 113, which is in honor of the $113 million he left on the table when signing his current contract with the New York Knicks.
Ooh.
Recording this one on the afternoon of Sunday, April 13th, in the year of our Lord 2025. My name is Logan Wertman, and as usual, I'm joined by my bamboozled co-host, Jacob Roth. Jacob, how does it feel to be on the Jalen Brunson episode?
It feels pretty good. That was a fun little tie-in, the 113, how much money he left on the table. That was a new, unique way to do that. So shout out to you. Bravo, sir. But yeah.
I believe he also wore 13 in Dallas. I think that was his jersey number in Dallas.
Maybe. My brain is not computing, but maybe.
Yeah, pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah, that was just a coincidence, though, that it worked out that way. And it's April 13th. Just a lot of 13s going on.
Yeah, whoa. Yeah, okay, yeah. My brain is breaking, but it'll fix itself as we jump into this, I think.
Yeah, and I guess I didn't plan this beforehand before we started recording, but give us a spot, I guess, to plug in that interview that we just had, we left Starstruck from. I'll insert that right here, right now, basically. So I guess I'll just give a little bit of it backstory, though, to set it up. The creator of Man on the Lakers, the viral TikTok song of parody of Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson. His name is Talented Blake. He reached out on TikTok after seeing us talk about his song on a clip. And so he joined us today from Coney Island. And we got to have a solid 20-minute, call with him. So we'll plug that in right here. All right, so we are joined by Talented Blake now here today, the guy who created Man on the Lakers, the one and only. I believe at least the biggest video I've seen has 14 million views. I don't know if there's another one that has more at this point, but that's pretty crazy. How's life treating you right now?
There's a video with 14 million views?
Yeah, that's what I saw, at least on TikTok.
I didn't even see that. But I'm good. I'm just living with it right now.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, I feel like right now the song took on a life of its own, so I'm just dealing with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw you were wanting the Lakers. You were trying to petition them to bring you to a game or invite you out to a game. Any traction on that?
Yeah. So, so far ain't nothing. I was a little upset in the beginning because I'm like, look, it's 1,000 people tagging the Lakers on TikTok. There's 1,000 people tagging the Lakers on Instagram. Like, I know they see it, but when I really broke it down, 2 days would make a month since the song was released. So the fact that all of these things are happening in a short time, I had to just respect it. Like, you got to respect time sometimes.
For sure. Like,
it's only been a month. Like, I got a lot more time to get that opportunity. So I was mad at first. But I really wanted it. I did an interview with Fox News, and she asked me, she said, you know the lady that asked LeBron about the song?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't seen
the
that.
The interviewer, the reporter?
The interview when she said, oh, did you hear any of the songs going on? So that was the lady. She called me 3 days before that interview. And she asked me, she said, if you could get anything out of this, what would it be? And I said, it would be for LeBron to acknowledge the song.
Oh, yeah.
Now, yeah, so
that's big.
The downside, you see the upside to that was he did acknowledge that he hears the songs. The downside was I didn't know 1,000 people would make songs after mine.
Yeah.
And most of them,
like I didn't,
and I kind of said it, most of them suck. Yours is the only one that I enjoy. The rest of them I am not a big fan of.
I'll tell you this, right? And this from a non-hater standpoint. Like, the direction, I don't like the direction that a lot of them are going in, right? So it's no longer becoming about just praising the game of LeBron. Now it's becoming more about just like all this sexual tension in the song. Like my song don't got nothing to do with that. My song is strictly about the game. When I mentioned trading AD, when I mentioned the two players they have, if you want to make the world a better place, say LeBron's name because LeBron is the greatest player. So it's like I'm just talking basketball.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like when you start hearing people say, "Yo, he's our God and he's our dad and he's my," and I wish I could be Bronny or Savannah, and it's like, okay, relax. Like
No joke.
I like it. I like the fact that the one thing I like about this whole situation is that it's bringing out talent.
For sure.
Like we got a group chat. People don't know, of course, but we got a group chat with all of the biggest LeBron song creators.
Oh wow.
So August, all of them, every one of the biggest creators, we in a group chat together. And we wanted to put something together for the people. I ain't gonna expose it too much, but we wanted to put something together for the people. And it's like as it starts to go and go, it's like I like some of the songs, but we don't have to take it to where it's no longer about basketball.
Yeah, just glazing him at this point. It's like beyond
Yeah,
regular. It's unhealthy.
yeah, like the original, the LeBron, like we spoke early on, right? And his is not really a song. Now that's not to hate on his movement. Is a great movement that was started behind it. But it wasn't a song. It was more so exactly what he said in his caption. I wanted to make a song, couldn't think of no lyrics, so I just kept saying LeBron. Like he said it in the caption of his video. So it's like his wasn't when I created mine, I created a song.
hmm
I didn't just make a thing. And he said even in his Fox interview, because after she spoke to me, she asked me for his information and I sent it to her. But he said, like, I'm not an artist. That's not my passion. He's like, I want to be an engineer.
Mm.
So it's not like I'm ruining anything by saying what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like he don't want to be a musician, but it's just his wasn't necessarily a song. So when I created mine, that opened up a lane for people to create songs. And again, some of them are good, but like he said, like Jacob said, a lot of them is not good because there's no premise. You change 2, 3 words to the original song with LeBron and think that it's a good song. You're going to get 50,000 likes and a million views because the people haven't heard this version before. But one of the dudes from the group, he was like, yo, he said this LeBron thing is probably the best thing I ever did. I would have never thought to did a song in Spanish until I remixed the Despacito. And now that made me I'm going to do my own song in Spanish. And I'm like, that's the goal, is bringing out so much. So out of anything that I could have got out of this is the fact that it's bringing talent out of people for real. Look at this.
There you go.
Oh, nice. So you're on Coney Island right now then?
Yeah, the stadium right here, the baseball stadium.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing in there, but they'll be all right.
Nice. I think the part where we were talking about what teams you cheer for and whatnot was before we started recording. So I don't know if you want to explain that for people again.
Oh, yeah. So with me, I'm not the biggest Laker fan in the world, but you can't hate the Lakers. That's one. You can't hate what they created. The same as you can't hate the Celtics. They now have the most championships of a franchise.
In one city also.
Being from New York, people think when you from New York, oh, you gotta cheer for New York. Nah, we cheer for New York when they doing good. And when you live in New York, we respect that as people from New York. Like, if they losing and you say, nah, I'm not rocking with New York right now, nobody who's from New York would be mad at you. They'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, because, he's selling. Yeah, he doing bad. He doing bad.
Yeah.
It's only the people from outside of New York. But, yeah, bad. I like the Lakers, man. I like the Lakers now. I'm not going to lie. when we talk about a team that was put together, I like this team more than I like any other Lakers team that I've personally watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's just fun.
For sure.
For
It's
sure.
fun to watch. It's fun basketball. Basketball needs to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love the fact that they bring in fun back.
Yeah, two of the highest IQ players ever.
Yeah, like, it's just perfect.
All it took was a GM to have a stroke. That's all it took to make a fun team, is for a GM to just...
Yo,
how's he not fired? Anyway, we'll talk about that at a different time instead of taking up more of your time. But
ask the crowd. Ask the crowd. The crowd was telling them to get fired.
yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know, man. But yeah.
Back to kind of the music side, what are some of the other things you've done? I know that this is like the biggest thing for you that's kind of blown up, but the way you're talking, you kind of sound like you want to do the musician stuff kind of more. What are some things you've done and things you're kind of working with?
All right. So aside from a podcast in my neighborhood that I did, this information, since it's probably going TikTok, nobody knows. Right? So it's really just local that knows.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2008, I was doing music. I've been doing parody songs since the 3rd grade. Like, this is just what I do. But I never release music. It's something in me. Like, I got like imposter syndrome, where when something just blows up out of nowhere, I back off.
Mm-hmm.
I take a break. I take a big break. Right? And I done did Wildin' Out before. I did 2 episodes on Wildin' Out in 2017. It was like a live thing for influencers. I beat Nick Cannon in a rap battle, all that. A one-on-one rap battle on Wildin' Out. I done did in 2013 to 2016. I was probably one of the biggest names in New York. I was hitting World Star every other month. And this is when World Star was like, somebody told you was on World Star, it was like
big deal.
Yeah. So I did that, but with music, this is the first time I've ever taken it serious, and it's because somebody close to me passed away, right? And I went to the funeral. A lot of people from my neighborhood didn't want to speak. I never did a speech at a funeral, not even for family, not even for nobody else.
Yeah.
But I went and I told them, I said on the stage, I said, listen, to all of y'all in Coney Island, whatever y'all do, if y'all rap, keep rapping. If y'all sing, keep singing. Take it serious. I'm like, take it serious. I've never taken it serious. I do music and people be like, yo, I love that song you did. I love this. I love this. And then I'll just be like, oh, all right, that's cool. And I'll never drop a song again. Like, I just won't drop a song. But after that day, I told his brother, I said, yo, I'm going to do something, and I'm going to just, the next thing I do, I'm going to just take it. I'm going to just take it to I'm going to push it as far as I could. So with this song, I dropped the song. It had 1,000 views in maybe 3 hours, right? So I'm thinking, oh, nothing's going to happen. That's 1,000 views. I had 12 followers, March 15th.
Wow.
I'm in Coney Island. I'm at a studio that's on, y'all don't know, but it's on 23rd Street. It's TOG. It's like a known studio in Coney Island. It's TOG. So I'm in the studio. I leave. I go home. I lay down. My brother texts me. My brother does not watch basketball. He don't follow it. He don't follow no basketball players. He don't watch no highlights. He sent me a video and said, yo, this sounds just like you. I clicked the video. It's a highlight of LeBron James, and my song is in the background. I said, that is me. So somebody took my song from TikTok and put the audio behind the highlight video. The original video was me just lip singing, not actually singing at first. I was lip singing. That's the one that's on YouTube. I was lip singing in front of the mic, and he took the audio. We ended up speaking down the line, and he was like, yo, it was 12 followers. It had 1,000 views. I thought somebody else took the video, so I just took it from them. I just took the audio, and we spoke, and I'm like, yo, you good? He showed me the money he was making off of it at the time. I said, I'm not worried about the money. Do your thing.
Wow.
Like, if you gonna make money, do your thing. Just tag me in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the hardest thing in the beginning was to get credit. That was the hardest thing,
Yeah,
and it's still not happening right now.
Mm.
Snoop Dogg posted it, and he tagged the person who he took the video from.
Mm.
So now it's like I'm still fighting for credit, but I'm over it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's wild. It's wild how social media work though. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it is.
My homie who I call like a brother, that was the main reason that I said, you know what? That's why that song, I don't know if y'all ever recorded music or when y'all do y'all edits, but the Man on the Lakers is 90 tracks stacked.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like 96 vocal tracks.
Oh, geez. Just vocals.
Like for the chorus, for the first part of the chorus, before I even say LeBron, that's 10 stacks. And then it's 10 for LeBron. And then when my pitch goes up.
Yep.
Yeah, for the because what I did was I had to record it with one tone and then record it again, but put it for the left ear, record it again, put it for the right ear. And then I had to do the same for each tone. So when I did the deep voice, it was 3 tracks. When I did a higher pitch, 3 tracks. So everything was just, I wanted it to sound like a bunch of people singing.
Yeah.
It worked.
For sure.
Yeah, so after the first thing, I had to beat the allegations of AI. Because everybody else was using AI. So I put in my bio at one point, not AI. Like, yo, y'all killing me.
It's crazy that you have to do that. Yeah.
Oh man, it was wild, man. It was wild. But yeah, that's how that came about.
You said you were inspired by the guy who did the LeBron, like it was just repeating LeBron over and over, right?
No. So because that's what happened that's what they said on the Fox News thing.
Oh.
But that's not how I explained it to her.
Mm-hmm.
What I explained to her, what I originally did a Kyrie Irving song before I seen anybody's song. I just did it because it's Kyrie. I found the beat. I said, yo, I did a Kyrie song. I was like, I'm gonna drop this song. I don't know if I was subconsciously hearing the song and not paying it no mind, maybe. I don't know. But I was like, let me do a song about Kyrie. He got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So now I go on TikTok and all I'm seeing is LeBron videos. I'm not hearing the song yet. I'm not hearing it yet. And then I say, yo, I want to do a LeBron song. So it's a song that I got on my computer that never got released. And then I hear the LeBron song.
Mm-hmm.
I hit up the dude. I say, yo, where's the beat? This is before where it is now. He didn't even buy the beat yet. I said, yo, where's the beat to this song? He told me the name of it. He sent me the link and I recorded a verse to it and posted it on my Instagram. It's still on my Instagram. I posted a verse and I was like, yo, what if I do an actual song? He did what he did, but let me do a song. Like, and literally, I think it took maybe less than 45 minutes. And the song was done. That's why the song is not perfect.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear like my in the mic. Like the song is because I just went.
Yep.
I just went line for line. I don't write.
Mm-hmm.
I just go line for line. So I'm doing line for line. And I did the first verse and the first verse dropped. And then like 2 weeks later, I recorded the second verse.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't really an inspiration. Like I've been a fan of Weird Al my whole life.
Yeah.
That's why instead of just keeping my regular name, I had to call it a parody. That's why it's I Make Parodies. Because that's what I feel like. It's not a remix because I'm not remixing the song.
Yeah.
I'm making fun in a way of the original lyrics. And the bonus was the lady who wrote the song, she I don't know how it's pronounced, if it's Saida Garrett, if it's Cedar Garrett, but she commented on my post early on and was like, I love these clever lyrics to my song. And that's when I knew it's only up from here. She wrote Man in the Mirror.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so Yeah, so you can't beat that. You can't. I don't care who comments on my stuff from now on. That's as close as I get to Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really get closer now. Like, it's not really possible.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's as close. The only thing that would make me closer is Janet Jackson or Paris or one of the kids, something like that.
But that's
Paris
crazy.
is heavy on social media. And
Yeah.
Janet, what's crazy is Michael Jackson has a song trending, and so does Janet Jackson at the same time.
Oh, really?
Janet Jackson, they doing dances like TikTok dances to one of her old songs.
I think I've seen that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy that they both trending, but I feel like realistically the song still ain't go viral.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like it didn't reach where I feel it can go, and that's why I'm just letting it live.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to keep one of my guys that I was just with, 4K, he said, yo, we should do a music video. I said, no, I don't want to take what it's already doing. I don't want to remove what it's already doing. People doing their own thing, doing choirs, highlight videos. I want the song to create the path for me.
Yeah.
I want the song to say, look, this is what you got to do now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody doing choirs. Okay, so I'm going to support them. I'm going to share their movement. That's what I'm meant to do right now.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to have a hand in the song no more. The song is supposed to say, look, do this.
Mm-hmm. It becomes
okay, I'm gonna do
everybody's.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now it's the people. It's the people's song. It's y'all song.
I love it so much.
Like, if y'all post it, I'm no longer commenting under people's posts saying to tag me. Because it's no longer about me. The people love it. It's kids in their classrooms. They teachers is playing it on the projector. Like the song is not mine no more. It's not. The song belongs to the people, and I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that.
Oh yeah.
If somebody want to take it and get 1 billion views off of it, do your thing.
No, for sure. That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, that was awesome to hear from you, man. And I wish you the best of luck. I wish that
I appreciate it.
Continue to get more credit. I know, like you just said, it's it's everybody's song at this point, but I think getting some more credit, getting some the Lakers to reach out to you and all that stuff.
Listen, I'm gonna say this here. If you're watching this video, tag the Lakers below right now. I need some seats. I told y'all before. Where's that? Even if y'all put me up there, and I guarantee you I'll be at every Lakers game next season. Just from y'all putting me up there, I'll do the work myself to get to the floor. I just need an invite. I reached out to Jimmy Fallon via DM. I'm about to figure out how to email him. I know he loves music and social media influences. So Jimmy Fallon, if you seeing this, look, I'm out. We outside, and look. Give my 2 guys right here some seats. I'm saying it on the platform right now because this is the first public platform I did an interview for. If y'all give me a ticket, give them 2 tickets or I'm not coming.
Sweet, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Jacob, I don't know if you saw the video where I just thought of this just now. The Kobe, you threw the darts at the dartboard and it added up to 24 and then 8. Was that real? Did that really happen?
Listen. This is the crazy part about it. Because it's not like I just did a 2-second video and it's like, oh, he probably took 30 takes.
Yeah.
I was talking for 3.5 minutes.
Exactly.
With the darts in my hands. And I said, yo, if y'all don't see this, if y'all don't see what I'm about to do, it's because it didn't mean nothing. Like, I was really going to cut it out if nothing happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't stand up. I didn't take a minute to think. I just turned around and threw them. And look, that's why I kept the camera like this the whole time as I was walking. It was like, look. Because I'm like, yo, it's meant to be. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that when I saw it. 2 12s and an 8.
Yeah, I turned my head back to the camera because at first I was like, oh, that's a 12. Then I threw another one. I was like, oh, that's a 12. I threw another one. I said, nah, hold on. Let me grab my phone because this is wild work. Like, I feel like that was another sign. That's what I mean by I'm letting the song I'm letting the song dictate where I go with it. If this don't go nowhere, if I never get to a Lakers game, if I never get to get any more success out of the song, as long as the song is leading the way, I'm good. The people love it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Divine
I'm Michael
intervention.
Jackson first. You see me? I'm
Yeah.
Michael Jackson first before anything.
Oh, nice.
Good Mike Jack shirt.
Yeah.
I'm Michael Jackson first, but like, yo, LeBron, do the right thing, LeBron. Do the right thing, Lakers. Word. But I appreciate y'all for real, for real.
Yeah.
And I was serious about what I said. Like, because this is the first public platform that I've done any form of an interview with on video wise, for real, for real. I appreciate y'all for even reaching out after I commented and actually following through. Because I'm going to just say a bunch of people reached out and I ain't get an answer back yet. So I appreciate y'all for following through. And look, if they could give me one, they could give me three.
That's
no
for sure, man. Yeah.
So
awesome.
I'm down with it 100,000,000%.
Yeah.
I don't know what they playing over. All right, but I gotta go. I know they want me in this stadium already. Look at this. Look at what they got going on over here. Hold on, let me try to turn my camera. Can I turn my camera? See, I'm not hip to the Discord vibes.
I'm not sure. Can you turn it on Discord?
Oh yeah, I can turn it right here.
Oh, there you go.
Look at there.
Oh yeah.
It's empty in there right now. The game was supposed to start at 2. It ain't start yet because it's still empty.
Is this an MLB game?
Yeah, this is it's like the local. I think they under the Mets or something like that. Or they under. Yeah, I think they under the Mets, the Cyclones. So nice. I'm about to go in there. I know they just waiting. I don't know what they want, but we gonna go see.
Yeah, nice. Well, have a good time in there, man. Appreciate you hopping on.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime. Just reach out and I'm around. Y'all got my number. Y'all got now my Discord that I'm learning how to use. But to both of y'all, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
All right.
See ya. Have a good one.
Same.
Very interesting guy. It was like cool to talk to him before, after the recording. Like, it was just crazy. It was crazy.
No, for sure. Yeah. Definitely an individual. That is for sure. But I guess to first hop into the rest of what we have for today, I'd like to thank everybody for listening. Please be sure to hit us up on Patreon or buy me a coffee if you would like to support us. That's patreon.com/hooptheory and buymeacoffee.com/hooptheory. All of our links can also be found in the description of both the show and the episode, wherever you're watching or listening to this. We would also greatly appreciate it if you'd rate the show, leave a like or a comment, and of course be sure to subscribe and follow the feed. And lastly, we would also love it if you sent something into our mailbag for us to read and react to, basketball related or otherwise. You can send those over to hooptheory.mailbag@gmail.com. And without further ado, let's get into what we have for today, which is mainly All-NBA, and maybe we'll talk a little playoffs if we have time. I know also me and you haven't talked with mics in front of us about the Michael Malone, Calvin Booth, firings. I don't know if you had any thoughts that you wanted to spout off about that or not, but
I think reports of now that at the trade deadline, I guess they were pretty aggressively shopping Murray and MPJ at the trade deadline. So at the end of this season, it seemed like they were going to blow it up and try again with a new core around their potential Mount Rushmore guy in Jokic. So that is an interesting thing, though. It's kind of crazy. It's more the timing is the only thing that I don't fully comprehend, but that's a whole thing that we could do. Yeah, that's a whole different deal.
Mm-hmm. If you guys listened to the last episode, I had a full, giving my thoughts about all that stuff. So if you want to hear that, I guess go back to that one. But to move on now, though, to All-NBA, this year, the first team, we just got done saying before we hopped on the recording that it's a pretty cut and dry top 5 for the most part, especially top 4 with the fifth that's kind of in his own tier. It's also positionless for the second time now, second year so far in the NBA, history of things. But I kind of have the teams listed out as if it were guard, forward, center. So this isn't in order of like how they actually rank them in 1 through 5 best candidate for the first team. if it were, I would probably have Jokic first with Shea right there behind him. But the way I have it right now is Shea as my first guard. I don't know if you want to give your first guard. We can go back and forth like that. I'm guessing it's the same person.
I mean, I would wager. I'd be shocked if our first team is not identical.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You could just list them off, and if there's any changes, I'll
I guess I'll list them in the order of how deserving they are. I guess so. It's Shea and Jokic in their own tier, and I think Giannis is right below that, and then I think Tatum is kind of in the same tier as Giannis, to be honest.
Yep. I'd say behind Giannis, but definitely in the same tier
range.
And then there's like, because we said like, is there been a year where there's been less debate? Like this was like cut and dry, no real debate, except for kind of the fifth spot. But I don't even really think there was that much debate.
Yeah, I have Donovan Mitchell just rewarding the Cavs' insane, winning season. But I could get behind some arguments about, a couple guys that I'll have on my next team. I guess I don't want to spoil their names right away, but there's a couple guys in there that I feel like you could make a case for, just as individual players.
And I think the biggest reason for that is because of this like last 6 weeks of the season, Mitchell's had like a weird slide where even though the Cavs were winning a lot of those games, he just wasn't like, give me the ball, I'll take over. And
the Cavs have lost more than they have all season, I think, down the stretch here, haven't they?
Yeah. But this last month of the season is just a weird one. Yeah. They essentially had the first seed locked up. Now it is obviously locked up as we're on one of the final days of the regular season, or the final day of the regular season.
Yeah.
So there's all that, I guess, and then, but I guess we can go to second team, and then there's a guy that I think is my like hot take. If things would have continued to be kind of tough for Mitchell down the stretch, could have taken his spot on the first team, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so I guess moving on to that, because we could talk more about that first team, because that's basically the MVP ladder, or ballot. When we talk about MVP, we'll go into those guys' cases more. But for this, it's a pretty open and shut case.
Yep, for sure.
So then second team, the guards that I have here, I guess I have 3 guards, but I put one of them, slid them down to forward, even though I don't need to pay attention to that at all. I have Steph as one of them. Do you have Steph on your second team? You do?
This is one of the tougher ones that I had.
Okay, yeah. And I think Steph was one of the guys.
I don't have Steph.
Oh, you don't have Steph?
No, it was like, he's on third team. Oh, okay. But I was like, I don't know. And then I also don't, that one was tough. And then also, I don't know if it was part of my brain being like, I have way too many guards on the second team. Yeah. So, anyway.
No, for sure. And I think there's a lot of split opinions on Steph. I feel like there's a lot of people that don't think he's near as, good of a candidate for this year, and other people that, looking at the Warriors' success, it's been like a weird, I don't even know what to call that shape, just like I don't know, like 2 mountains, 2 peaks, because they started off the season so well, like the best team in the league almost, basically.
But it wasn't for super long, and then they got really bad.
For a couple months.
And then the Jimmy Butler trade happened.
Yep.
And now they've resurged again as a title contender, potentially. If cards fall right, type of thing.
Yeah. So that's been huge. And Steph has been a pretty steady contributor throughout all of it. He's played a lot of games for his own kind of track record, or whatever you want to say about it. But the other guard that I have here is Ant Edwards. I'm sure you probably have him, being the big Ant fan that you are.
I am. I do have Ant finding a 3-point shot on a very high volume.
Yes.
The team had minimal spacers. They've also looked really good down the stretch.
Yeah,
they had a couple of like tough games, but they really kind of turned a corner in Julius Randle. They started to kind of figure out how that was going to work. And their biggest flaw in going into the playoffs is they have Ant as their hard one, but their like second offensive option is kind of like by committee, and that's not a great feeling going into the playoffs.
I feel like it's definitely Julius Randle as their second option on offense.
Sometimes most of the time it is, but when he's out, like he's just out enough, and there's just question marks enough, in my opinion.
Weirdly, they've been down the stretch here, even though they've been playing a lot better. And I think with the minutes with Julius Randle have looked better overall too.
Yeah.
But like where they've really improved has been in the non-Randle minutes. Looking at the splits, like they've just been destroying everybody in the non-Randle minutes. Which I think a lot of credit to be given to like DiVincenzo and Naz Reid coming in there off the bench. But they've found something with that, honestly. But yeah, I think Randall, though, he deserves a lot of credit for how he's molded a little bit, kind of changed his
Adapted.
role.
Yep.
Much more of a playmaker now. It's like they basically have 3 equal primary playmaking options on the team right now between Ant, Randall, and Conley. They're the guys kind of dishing the rock. And then Cade Cunningham is the next guy I have, who I have put in my Cade. 3 spot.
Yep.
Been just an outrageous season from Motorcade, as they call him.
Motorcade.
Yeah. The Pistons, I just like having him in here just as a pick, just representing that fun squad that they have there, that you also have shared your admiration for.
Yes. So I guess the one guard that I have different, I said that I had Steph on my 3rd team.
Mm-hmm.
I had Brunson. I know that he got close to the line, but I just feel like Brunson being on 3rd team felt wrong because the only I feel like Brunson was not the reason that really good teams blew them out of the water.
Yeah, no, for sure.
If that makes sense. Uh-huh. It was 0-10 against the Knicks, that is, or 0-10 against the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder this season, I think.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I believe it's 0-, because it'd be 4 games, and then 2 games. So yeah,
2 games,
it's 0-10 against those 3, which are top 3 teams in the NBA. And in the games that I watched, the Celtics for, Jalen Brunson was not the problem when he was there.
Mm-hmm.
First night of the season, they just okay, Cat, you want to be a cool center? We're gonna bully the crap out of you, and that's just what they did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what everyone has done, not just Cat, but I feel like it's rarely been Jalen Brunson's fault. So that's why I mean, it was close. For me, he is for sure the 5th person on the 2nd team, with Steph being probably the 1st on the 3rd team.
Yeah, no, for sure. I did understand kind of the argument some people have been making about Cat being more deserving of All NBA than Brunson this year, just because while they've been playing, they've been pretty close to equally impactful by a lot of ways you can look at it. And then also he's just played way more games, Cat has. So
yes,
I understand that argument for it for sure. But spoiler alert, I actually have them both on the 2nd team, so I didn't pick one over the other necessarily.
Oh.
Did I say 2nd? I meant 3rd. Did I say 2nd?
You did say 2nd, but you meant I assumed you meant 3rd because you had 3 guards and Jalen Brunson was not one of them.
Uh-huh.
What did you do for the forward centers, the last 2 spots I get?
Yeah. So my 2 guys are 2 Cavs legends, honestly.
Both Cavs?
One of them in a past life, LeBron James.
Oh, I was like, okay, we are on the same boat then. My brain was like, what am I doing? Because you're out of guards. I'm like, you didn't put Jarrett Allen or some insane open. Okay, that makes
team All NBA.
I was like, what? Okay,
that would have been a move for sure. That would have just reincarnating my past, Cavs fan self.
Hot takes galore.
Yeah. No, for sure. I should have I have my Mobley jersey actually right here. I haven't hung it up yet behind me. But for those watching, I've got a pretty slick Evan Mobley jersey, courtesy of this guy right here, Jacob Roth.
Sure. But no, I also have, and so now that we're to him, we'll touch on LeBron. Mm-hmm. Evan Mobley was also my guy that I'm like, is there a world if Donovan Mitchell didn't figure it out the last 2 weeks, Evan Mobley was supposed to be the Cab on the 1st team? Is there a world where that
I think for sure. I think you can make that case as it is. He might be, if you're going full positionless, That's I mean, it's not even that bad. You could slide Tatum up to 2, Giannis up to 3, Mobley at the 4. That would be a nasty lineup.
Okay,
that would destroy worlds.
No, of course it would. It's 1st team All NBA. That would,
but even more than just throwing a bunch of stars together. They're all guys. All of those guys, they can play roles together. You know what I mean? Jokic, Giannis, and Mobley.
Not enough
with
spacing. Mobley's getting better. Giannis has none.
Yeah, Giannis has none. Jokic,
Tatum's your only shooter. By definition, shoot.
Yeah, but by how all of them have shot this season, they've all shot well. Other than I don't know what Giannis' 3-point percentage is. I guess,
but he doesn't take bad because it's Giannis.
He doesn't take near as many as those other guys. Other than I guess Mobley doesn't take a lot.
Defensively, that team would be a just
juggernaut.
You would want to die. You would want to die.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure. But and yeah, but I have Mobley as the center on my second team though. But if we're ranking them in order of like most deserving of the second team, Mobley is right there at the top. I think maybe one, honestly, and I'd probably put
I think
Steph and
it's
Ant right after that. But what I
no,
guess
it's
what were
like
you gonna say?
no, I was because it's like a weird thing. Like this whole second team is just kind of like a man. This feels weird that your second team because you've had a really good season. The
Mm-hmm.
top is just such an untouchable thing that
Yeah,
it just is like sorry, it feels bad to be you.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'll strap to LeBron for like not just in name but in reality deserving a second team spot. In my opinion,
yeah.
it's
No,
not
for
just
sure.
like a let's put LeBron. Like no, I think the dude is a second team All NBA,
Yeah,
which is awesome and crazy.
it's weird how much he does kind of benefit a little bit from like the 65 game rule thing, but also even without the 65 game rule, I don't think Luca or AD would make All NBA this season, even before that was a rule. You know what I mean? Because they just haven't played
Yeah,
enough. But it's
Luca
just
would be close-ish probably.
yeah. I mean, how many games has he played on the season? It's gotten way up more up there now, but at the beginning of the season, he was missing like all of it. Um,
50.
he's played 50. Yeah, so
50 game
that would be close to the record, I believe. I
of
think.
lowest.
Yeah, I think Bill Walton has the record. I think at like 50 or 51 games played as All NBA selection. I believe LeBron within the past like 5 or 6 years, he had a season where he was like 54, 55 games and he made third team. So that was another one that was close to that. But yeah, so he would be close to the range at least. But I think what I was about to say is LeBron has, when you look at like how good the Lakers have been, it's like, well, they need an All NBA guy, and LeBron needs to get. If he's the only All NBA guy, then he might be second team. Which I did put him on second team, but I think he does benefit a little bit from that great stretch with AD as being the best player on the team for the
Yep.
beginning of the season, and then getting traded for Luka Doncic, who comes in and can really carry the load most nights while LeBron is like picking and choosing the spots. Honestly, it's crazy how they've been running it with. There's always at least LeBron is never on the floor without one of Luka or Reeves.
A Reeves.
So he's always got like a safety valve to be like,
Someone
here,
else to just do it.
I'm going to take a rest. You dominate the ball, and I'll play off of that. Like, which is just credit to him for. I mean, obviously, it's not that surprising. He's one of the most like highest IQ players of any sport. I feel like,
Yeah.
he was able to figure that out, how to pick and choose the spots and play off of people like that. So I think for all the people that were saying at the start, like our friend, mutual friend Josh, I'll shout him out, who is just so doubtful of LeBron and Luka being able to play together. I just was never. Every time I heard people say that, I'm like, yeah, they both dominate the ball a lot, but this is not like having James Harden and I don't even know who else, like somebody another James Harden, two James Hardens. I'll just say it like that. Like these are both guys who are very, high IQ they can play off of each other when needed, especially LeBron. We've seen LeBron do that for a long time now. So I was not surprised by that at all. But yeah, so he's definitely deserving of a second team spot here. I think I've said everybody. Yeah. So I got Ant, Steph, Cade, LeBron, and Mobley. And just to look at Cade's numbers really quick, where he finished on the year, just because I feel like those need shouting out. 26 points per game with 6 rebounds, 9 assists.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. I think he was like third or fourth. I think third, I want to say, in assists per game. Might be wrong on that, but he's at least very close to third, if not third. The other guys that would be close to third with him is, I think, Tyrese Halliburton is around the 9 per game mark.
Who will not have his name said again.
What, say that again?
I was making a dumb joke.
Oh.
Bad joke.
But anyways, on to the third team, which, speaking of, I think the joke you just made, I didn't hear you exactly, but I'm guessing you joked about his name not coming up. But that is my first guard.
That is exactly. Really?
On the third team. Yeah, Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, no, if there's a Pacer that deserves to sniff the third team, it's not him.
Really? I mean,
Spicy P all
I love
day.
giving Siakam love, but Tyrese Halliburton has been the engine of that team all season long, especially ever since the first month and a half, that was a really bad stretch. Ever since then, like the Pacers have just been a well-oiled machine, similarly to how they were last year, and not enough people are talking about that. I feel like the way Halliburton is just, he might be the best he's ever been right now. The way he's been playing lately, probably the calendar year of 2025.
Okay.
In my humble opinion. I'm definitely a big Hallie guy. I'm glad that he's figured out some of the kinks that we saw. Obviously, he's not like a great one-on-one scorer, which is, one of the biggest weaknesses we saw in the playoffs last year. He was not able to create his shot in isolation very consistently when they would try to put him in that position, the other team. Being the Knicks and the Cat. Who did the Pacers play
Today?
Bucks. No, I'm saying in the playoffs last year. They played Bucks first round, then Knicks, and then went to the conference finals against the Celtics. That's crazy. They made the conference finals. I forgot about that. I kind of forgot about that, honestly. But yeah, the Halliburton weakness is, definitely creating his own shot. But everything beyond that, the way that he finds, there's just not another person, I feel like, that can play Halliburton's role the way that he is right now, to be honest. Like the way that he finds people, like unless Jokic was in his body, being able to play guard in that way type of thing. But
I also think part of it is the whole like almost mentality of the Pacers. Like, we don't care how many points you score. We're just going to score more. And I think that like bugs me that there's like no defensive anything in his brain. Not any.
He's been a lot better on defense this year than he was last year.
He's been a lot better, but there's still like our main game plan is just to score 120 points and hope you don't get there also, which I just don't love. Anyway, yeah.
Spicy P's been a big part of that, though.
That is true. Leads a team of points, I believe.
Yep, he does.
Also boards.
Oh, really? I guess that makes sense because Miles Turner just does not get rebounds for a 7-footer. He's got Brook Lopez syndrome.
Yeah. Which is a whole
he
other
leads
deal.
the team in boards at 6.9 per game. That's crazy. I wonder if that's the lowest.
But they have some good like rebounding guards.
Yeah, it's kind of just evenly distributed, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the lowest number for a team leader in rebounds per game.
Probably.
Yeah.
Less than 7, I would wager you're probably right.
Yeah. But yeah, Miles Turner's at 6.6 per game. That one of my favorite bets to make is for Miles Turner to not get a double-double. Infinite money glitch is betting on Miles Turner not to get a double-double. And the opposite of that is Zubats. Betting on Zubats to get a double-double will feed you every time.
It's just free money.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why you get like 1 cent for every dollar you spend.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam, though, is your pick, though. Is he on your third team or he's not on your third team?
He is on my third team.
Oh, he is. Nice. I respect that. You want to give him any props, I guess, or?
He just is like, and we say this kind of a lot, but like he had that weird year where the Raptors were technically playing out of Tampa and he just looked like really bad. Mm-hmm. But every year since that, he's kind of continued to settle in. And then he just does everything.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Just does it. Like, just does everything. Not to the extent of like a Derek White level, like throw his body on the ground all the time, but he just does whatever. And I just like that a lot. Mm-hmm. Spicy P is, just like it. And also the Pacers are a little feisty and I like it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like there's like 3 Pacers that I would consider on my guys draft.
Oh, I thought you were talking about All-NBA for a second. I was like, wait, who's the other All-NBA?
No. On like my guys.
No, for sure. There's definitely a few guys.
Like there's a couple guys where I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I dabble in some TJ for sure. But yeah. So I have Spicy P on my third team.
That's fair.
I also, as another forward, have actually probably doesn't matter. It's 2 centers. I don't know why I said forward. It's Cat. I have Cat on my third team.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
You also said you had your third team earlier. Mm-hmm. I know that I like kind of ran him into the ground talking about him on the second team. I don't know. I feel like Jalen Brunson should be there, but Cat has been really, really good this year.
No, for sure.
So I don't like. It's not where I think he's worse than that. One of the and then Jaren Jackson Jr. is another guy that I have on the third team.
Yeah, which honestly, if we're ranking these in order of like most deserving, I think Triple J, I think Triple J might be my number one player on the third team.
Steph is my number one on the third team.
Oh, yeah, but you have Steph. Mm-hmm. Triple J is just, he's had such an unbelievable year. He kept like those, he had good stats, bad team syndrome last year when they were just terrible and they needed him to do everything. He's replicated those same exact stats, but just way better efficiency and on a good team. Like, it's just kind of a crazy jump here that he's had from one year to the next. And he's kind of reinstated himself in the defensive player of the year-ish range. I don't think he's quite into like the inner circle of those candidates, but I think he's for all defense for sure though. And that's been big. And
you need to be fired up. This defensive player of the year.
Oh, it's going to get you fired up? I didn't realize.
I'm going to get so fired up.
Do you want to save it, or
Draymond
you want to just go into
so
it?
Mad.
You want to just go into it right now?
We can kind of dive into it DPOY.
Yeah.
Because Jaren Jackson Jr. is a guy that's up there. If Draymond wins it, I'm going to be furious. Oh. Have you ever read a book and it's really good at the beginning and then it's read a book at the beginning and then it's really bad in the middle and then at the end of the book it gets good again? Do you think that book deserves special awards as opposed to a book that's been pretty good the whole book?
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
And
because we just forget that Draymond and the Warriors were bad for months in the middle of the year, like just bad. So we're gonna reward them when they get like rejuvenated through a trade, and just forget all previous transgressions. When you have dogs like Amen Thompson, dog, the Torture Chamber, dog, and you're just gonna forget about him and reward Draymond because he has a podcast and can like be his own media
That's the part that annoys me. I don't necessarily hate because even when they were bad, the Warriors were bad, Draymond was still their defensive centerpiece and like anchoring things on it. Like he was still being Draymond. I think that he's definitely in the range of some of the candidates. I just don't get why he's such a favorite all of a sudden just because he talked about it on his podcast. He's like, why not me?
I think we should still give it to Wemby. Just still give it. I don't care about the C5 games. Give it to Wemby anyway.
I think we should give it to Mobley, to be honest, would be my pick. I don't mind the Torture Chamber
another
pick.
guy I forgot to say.
Yeah.
No, I forgot. Like, I heard it had to have been the Bill Simmons podcast. When the Thunder played the Celtics, Jalen Brown was in the Torture Chamber and could not do a single thing. He was in prison.
There's been a few guys.
There was no escape. And no, like, your favorite guy doesn't want to see Lou Dort.
Yep.
Your favorite ISO. If Kobe Bryant was playing in today's NBA, Lou Dort is his bane. Oh my goodness, I blanked on his name. No, I see his face.
He just got his jersey retired. Grit and Grind Grizzlies.
Yeah, Grizzlies and Celtics.
Tony Allen.
Tony Allen. Lou Dort is this generation's Tony. No one wants to see Lou Dort. No one.
That's fair.
When you are that good at taking away someone's best thing, and it's so versatile.
Yeah, and he's doing it on the best defense of all time.
Yeah, and it stretches all the way from Jamal Murray type of guards to Jalen Brown type of guard forward combo things.
They even had him guarding Jokic some plays.
And he's like 5'11". It's like Marcus Smart on steroids. It's insane.
Yeah.
And he does not get enough love. And I think it's because there's so many more like there's an MVP to talk about. And there's a giant 7-foot 3-point shooting unicorn to talk about. And there's like a really great two-way, like the most overqualified, like 3-and-D guard and Jalen Williams can't really shoot threes as well. But anyway, that's the point. Like just like he just gets forgotten about. But like he's terrifying. I feel like if there's ever like a clutch scenario, buzzer beater shot, it does not matter who is taking it. They're putting Lou Dort. Lakers, Thunder, somehow it's game 7, last second shot. They're going to say, Lou Dort, you follow the ball. It does not matter who is catching it. You put that man in a prison. And he will. Because that's what the Torture Chamber does. And anyway, that's my small little rant that if you didn't know who I want to win DPOY, it's Lugens Dort. Like bad. But there was like elements of Triple J. Obviously, he's won it before. Very good defensive player. You said Mobley is another one on a defense that does not get as much flowers because it's like kind of the stigma of the Cavs have bad defense. Cavs defense has not been that bad this year. It's not been like
I think it's been
beaters,
really
it's
good the past like 5 years. Who says the Cavs have bad defenses? Do people say that?
Maybe it was. I thought right when Donovan Mitchell got there, their defense was not good, and maybe it's not good because their centers are just out or confused or down at times.
I think the past 5 years, every year they've been at least like top 7 or 8 defense.
Oh, so maybe I'm just delusional. Very likely.
I want to say I might be forgetting a year in there where it was bad, but I'll have to check on that.
I just feel like their offense is the only thing that gets talked about. Maybe that's a better way to word that.
Yeah,
as opposed to they're like it. And so Mobley's got that case for him. I don't know. I just think the best defensive player, without a question, on that good of a defensive team, with that many doesn't win DPOY feels crazy to me. Feels crazy.
No, yeah.
But then you also have like it's kind of like the MVP thing of like, well, if that player is gone, how much is their defense worse? I'm like, not everyone has the luxury of just being like, come on, Wallace. You want to come up and shut down a guard, or they can slide. Like, not everyone has the luxury to be that versatile, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just Lou Dort for MVP of the league. I love Lou Dort.
Yeah, no, that's for sure.
Sorry,
but yeah, I just don't get why Draymond can be like, not really in the discussion as much. Like he's amongst some of the candidates, but he's lower than some of the favorites. And then all of a sudden, he's just like, hey, I feel like I should get, a chance. And then everybody just like agrees. I'm surprised by that. Why is everybody like, yeah, you're right. Let's just do that. Like I don't know. That's what makes me mad about it. It's like, how can you control the narrative that easily? Just by being like, how about me?
I do. I deserve it, I think. It's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah. Anyways, going back to what we were talking about, Jaren Jackson Jr. is on the third team. For both of us, I believe, right? Yeah. Hallie and Brunson are my backcourt. And then I've got Triple J and Cat are the two guys I've mentioned so far. The other forward that I have on my third team is on the team that is one of the, most under talked about winning teams in the league this year. And that would be the Houston Rockets as the 2 seed in the West. And that is Alperen Şengün.
Let's go. Yes, let's go.
You have him too?
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Yes. I am so happy. That's all.
So you have Triple J, you have Cat, you have Siakam and Şengün.
Steph.
And then Steph. Okay. That's your third team.
There was like a lot of like,
I like that.
Because like KD didn't know if he was hitting the games, so I just ignored him. Because I don't know how that works.
Yeah, he is officially not. I don't know if I've said that in the recording. KD is at 62 games played.
Yeah, it feels weird for the Thunder to be this good, even though we just talked about him, but that was not about third. Like, and only have one guy in the first 3 teams All-NBA. Jalen Williams not being there feels weird. Just weird. Not that he should be there.
Next guys, I feel
it just feels weird. Other guys that I like threw around, my boy Jaylen Brown, because I have to. Obligatory.
Yep.
Definitely not. Like, if there was a 4th team, he's probably on that.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking about too, is a 4th team, which reminds me, I'm actually going to do that gimmick this year, I think, whether it be just a TikTok video I do or YouTube video or in a podcast episode with you, maybe by myself, I'm not sure. But I'm going to do a 4th, 5th, and 6th team All-NBA episode. Yeah. I don't know if you're going to join me for it, but I'm going to make my picks for that. Because I don't know if you saw the solo episode I did back around the All-Star break, where I did my sub All-Star teams. Mm-hmm. I took everybody who did not make the actual All-Star team and tried to make new All-Star teams using those players.
It just gets really muddy, and that's what's tough in my brain. Like, I don't know I
just like talking about players who are they're like right below the players that always get talked about.
Yeah, like 20 to 35 guys just are good, but they're just not that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that's... Like, so, I'm trying to think if I forgot somebody, but I don't think we did. I think we got everybody.
Yeah, Jalen Williams was one guy that was close for me also. I think, let me find who the source was. But there was a outlet that I saw who put out their picks. This was Forbes, which I guess I didn't even know put out articles about their All-NBA picks. But their third team, they have Ivica Zubats
That I love it.
as the center.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought like I saw that, I was like, that is a great like shout out for sure. I found it hard to put him over Şengün personally. That's why I ultimately went with Şengün. But if I have a fourth team, Zubats might be on my fourth team, to be honest.
No, absolutely.
And defense player of the year, honestly, Zubats might be in that. Just he should be a little bit.
Yeah.
How good the Clippers defense has been. He's been the sole like rim protector.
He's also on my guys draft for sure. Because in a NBA 2K15 or 16, like Celtics, like my franchise or whatever.
I've heard this story.
I I traded for him, and then he randomly turned into like a 90 overall just monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why. Like, I don't know if there was like a random, or if like the way that I played, his stats just went up when I played games I used him. I have no idea. But ever since then, he's had like a soft spot.
Yeah, he just turned into prime like Marc Gasol.
Ivica? I know people.
Ivica, yeah.
Yeah, people say his name. Ivica.
Mm-hmm.
Ivica Zubac.
I've been thinking about making a TikTok about this also, how to pronounce the C's in Balkan languages. But a C without any accent on it is always basically TZ or TS, however you want to think about it. It's like tz. So dude, how he has two C's in his first name, last name, Ivica Zubats. Mm-hmm. There's no, accents on it. Anyways, what were you trying to say?
His stat line on the year.
Yeah.
19.5 points a game, 12.5 boards, 3 assists, a block, and a net rating of plus 12. 67% true shooting.
Has he just, in the past couple of weeks, had like monster games? Because I feel like I saw the numbers not that long ago. Wait, that's not what he's averaging.
This is post All-Star break. Sorry.
Did you say that? I might have not heard you.
I didn't say it because I didn't realize it. I was like, this can't be real. Yeah. Because it's not. It's only post All-Star break.
Okay. But that's wild, crazy. Though. That I believe it, honestly, too. 19.5 points. So 20 points. What was the
13 boards.
13 boards.
12.5. The 13 boards. 3 assists, which for the type of center he is like 10, as far as I'm concerned.
He's been passing out of the short roll with James Harden. Yeah. It's been a good offensive system. Like, that's their main play.
Şengün's stats are listed right next to him in this Forbes article. Only has 5 assists a game. That's criminal. That they're within 2 assists of each other since the All-Star break. This with how they are. I'm still going to ride with my boy Şengün, but that's crazy. Shout out to Ivica Zubats. That's crazy.
Yeah. No, it is. He's been having I was not expecting that. Like, all of the talk we've had about Norm Powell, how he's he just blew out of a cannon at the beginning of the season. He's slowed down quite a bit ever since Kawhi's come back, because he's kind of regressed back into his former role a little bit, playing alongside another scoring wing. But still, but Zubats, though, has been, honestly, like, the way that he's just blown onto the scene. The thing was just a few years ago, it was always this stat that I heard people throw around that was like, the Clippers have such and such record, like an insane record, when Zubats plays less than 20 minutes. But if he plays more than 20 minutes, then they lose, usually. Like, he was looked at as one of those centers like a Steven Adams or Rudy Gobert to a certain extent, of like the guys that just in the playoffs they get played off the floor, basically. You can't use them quite as much as you can in the regular season. We'll see if that happens in this year's playoffs, but honestly, he's looked like a monster. And I also have not said this on a podcast yet, but this year, I've been thinking it the last couple of years now, but this year for sure is where it's solidified as like, I think he's the best guy other than maybe Wemby. But Wemby's more just like as a team defender, really tough for Jokic. But Zubats as a one-on-one defender on Jokic, I think makes life harder on him than anybody else in the league. Ivica Zubats. He's like the only guy that I feel like Jokic has a hard time when I'm watching, like backing him down and then trying to get his hooks over. He's just so large. He's one of those guys that I feel like is listed at a size that I just don't think 7 foot 240 seems low to me. Like, I feel like he's at least 280.
What's his wingspan?
I'm not sure. It doesn't list that on Basketball Reference.
I feel like because maybe that's like part of why he feels so large is if he's got like even like an extra like inch or two on the wingspan could feel crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know for sure though. Like watching him stand next to Jokic, he has a 7'4" wingspan. So that's about I think that's average for the discrepancy between height and wingspan. I believe
for NBA players,
average NBA player wingspan differential is plus 4 inches to their height.
Desmond Bane really bringing that down.
Yeah. I think he's like a minus really 3.
Take Desmond Bane out, it's average of 6. It's something crazy.
No, that's for sure. But Zubats, I just wanted to give him those flowers and also give him the flowers of my frustration as a Nuggets fan watching Jokic. Like, he's one of the only guys that can make Jokic just look frustrated and like when he's just trying to score one-on-one in the post he's a problem. He's come a long way from the way he was playing back in the Clippers series, back in the bubble, Jokic was just giving it to him every play. He's really developed since then, I feel like, in that. And he's gotten a lot better about fouling. Like, he still is close to fouling out every time because he's playing him so aggressively, but still he's like able to get enough minutes on him that but anyways, that is my shout out to or our shout out to Zubaka, as he is affectionately referred to as.
Are Nuggets playing starters tonight?
I have no idea. I also think we're playing like right now, aren't we? 2:30?
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I just got a notification on my phone from a while ago. I hadn't read it, but it was the Udoka said that the Rockets are playing their starters, which is hilarious. They have nothing to play for.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than the Nuggets being at a lower, which is.
Yeah, I'm sure
I want there to be more bad blood. I want there to be more bad blood in the NBA. I really do. Not like Mouse in the Palace bad blood, but I want there to be like genuine, like, disgust.
No, for sure.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I think so. It's hard to predict what can happen at this point if the Nuggets do lose, because it depends on whether or not the Clippers win their game or the Warriors win their game and the Timberwolves win their game. So like, if
you guys are for sure not in the play-in now, right?
We can fall to 7
because the Clippers and the Warriors play themselves.
Yeah, but the Clippers we have the tiebreaker over the Clippers because we're tied right now, but we're over them. Warriors are a game back from us, but the Timberwolves are also a game back from us. And we do not have the tiebreaker against the Timberwolves, obviously, because we haven't beaten them in like what feels like a year. It probably is a year, honestly. Mm-hmm. Well, no, we beat them in the playoffs. It was a 7-game series. But still, it's been a while. And so they would have the tiebreaker. So if the Timberwolves win their game, who are they playing?
Jazz.
They are. They're playing the Jazz. Okay.
Jazz.
So they have a guaranteed
Kyle
win, probably.
We trust. Not guaranteed.
Nothing's guaranteed.
Maybe
in the
start
NBA,
their guys. Honestly, if
they might not. They might want the Rockets first round.
Which I feel like is the wrong. The only teams I want in the first round right now are the Grizzlies or the Nuggets, only because no one wants Jokic, but who knows what's going on? I don't think Jamal Murray's playing basketball for the rest of the year. I think he's done.
I think this is all an elaborate. He played last game. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I did not even realize that.
Yeah,
just the way that Malone's gone now, so maybe this was part of. It just it sounded like nobody knew,
or not
what
Sacramento.
Was wrong with
he played
Jamal.
Against the Grizzlies. I'm sorry, Sacramento was our first game after the Malone firing. Jamal didn't play, but he played against the Grizzlies the next game.
He did play. Okay.
Yeah.
So with the tiebreakers, it looks like you need Golden State to lose, and you're out of the play-in. If Golden State wins and you lose, you need the Timber. There's one path you can end up in the play-in.
Is that everybody wins and we lose? Right?
Yes.
It's all the other teams below us
but
win.
Well, that's not possible because the Clippers are playing the Warriors. So the Warriors have to beat the Clippers because you guys have a tiebreak.
That's true.
So
we can't fall into
Warriors beat the Clippers.
Because if the Warriors beat the Clippers, then there's still going to be somebody below us.
I have that backwards. If you lose Yeah, you're right. So you can't be. You're right. No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
No matter what, the Clippers will always be below us, or the Warriors. Either the Clippers or the Warriors will always be below us because they're playing each other, which is a nice.
So then why doesn't it say playoff lock next to you? It doesn't have the X saying you're
because wait, actually, if the Warriors win, then it becomes a 3-way tie, and in the case of a 3-way tie, you can't do head to head, so we wouldn't have necessarily a tiebreaker over the Clippers.
Oh,
it would go to whatever the order of things is in a 3-way tie, which is first if whoever is the highest in their division, which we would win that tiebreaker. I think, wouldn't we? Because
yes, you would. Well, no, they're second and third.
The Thunder are above us, though, in their division.
So you're second in your division.
Yeah.
And then the Clippers or the Warriors, whoever it is, would also be second in their division. They'd be tied for second.
So then it's still a tie at the point. It would have to move on to the next, whatever is next in the tiebreakers, which I don't know the order of them for 3-way ties. It's funny that there's like you have a specific line of tiebreakers for how many teams are tied. Are you looking that up right now?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that easy to find or not, but
I am looking it up.
Definitely exists out there. But yeah, that'll be interesting to see where the Nuggets end up, though. But I think it'd be hard, at least, for us to fall to 7. I think a lot of things would have to go wrong. So yeah, I'm feeling confident about that. I'm not sure if we'll beat the Rockets today because it does sound like, from what you've said, they're going to be... Nuggets
are the 4 seed if they beat the Rockets. If you win, you are the 4 seed, no matter what.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, because obviously, because we're tied with the only other team that would be able to match us in wins.
If the Timberwolves win,
the Lakers, because the Lakers have the tiebreaker over us, is that why even if the Lakers lose and we win, they'll still be the 3rd seed? Is that why?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay, that makes sense. I think they do have the tiebreaker over us.
So the Clippers can clinch a top 5 by beating the Warriors. The Warriors will be the 6th seed and avoid the play-in if they beat the Clippers. The Timberwolves are a top 6 seed. This does not give me the tiebreaker rules themselves. Well, it does, but very dumbly.
What did it say about the Wolves being a top 6 seed?
If they win, they're not in the play-in if they win.
And really?
That is what it said.
If them and the Warriors both win, they'd still be tied, correct? But then also they would be tied with the Clippers. And maybe the Nuggets at that point. Then it would be a...
Oh, they are 4-0 against the Nuggets and 3-1 against the Clippers. So I think that's how that they would be locked in no matter what.
But if there's a 4-way tie, though, I don't know. How does that work? I don't know that. That's even another thing on top of that.
In the event of a 2-way tie, in the event that more than 2 teams are tied, the tiebreakers are in order our division winner, record against tied teams. So then they just make one giant record.
Oh, add them all up.
And the the Timberwolves are, in this 4-way tie scenario,
the best.
7, 8, and 4.
Oh, okay.
And then, like, for example,
Nuggets are probably not that good. Might be last.
4 and 8 or 4 and 7. The Nuggets are. The Clippers are 5 and 5, and the Warriors are 7 and 7. That was all quick math. Yeah.
How have they played so many more games against everybody? 14? 7 and 7?
3 plus 3 plus 1 is
everybody
7.
Else is
1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just reading what I read.
Okay. That's interesting. They must have played... That doesn't make any sense in my head. But anyways, based off that, though, the Nuggets would have the worst record, so they would drop to 7th then. So that's probably the event.
I accidentally added the Grizzlies. That's why. So the Warriors would not be 7 and 7. They'd be 4 and 6.
Okay. And Nuggets
I
would be 4 and 8.
accidentally added in the Grizzlies.
Just for them, though? Not for everybody else?
Yeah.
You look exhausted. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to.
Well, no, because I just have to keep bouncing around and doing the math and figuring out. Essentially, They take all of the head-to-heads of the teams that are tied, add them together into one column, and then go from there.
Yeah. So, definitely some things that there's no way we can know for sure, I guess, where people end up in that little little bunch. But the East does look pretty set.
Yep.
We've got the Cavs at 1, obviously, 3 games ahead, 3.5 actually ahead of the Celtics, which I'm guessing the Celtics win today, based off of how I guess maybe I don't know if the Celtics are resting everybody. Where do they? They did.
They did rest everyone, and they did win.
Oh, it's over?
I believe it's over.
Okay, it's just Google being not updated again. And then the Knicks 50-31 at the 3 spot. They're 2 games ahead of, or they're 1 game ahead of actually the Pacers at 4, Bucks at 5, Pistons at 6. The Magic are locked in there at the 7 spot. The Hawks are 8. The Chicago Bulls, led by Josh Giddey, at the 9 spot, and then Miami Heat are at the 10 with and they are 37-44 at the moment, which maybe they have won their game also or lost their game and have a different record than I just said. What is the Miami game? Did that finish?
I've got 37-45.
It did finish.
They lost by 1 to the Wizards.
So they should be 38 or 37-45.
37-40. Yep.
Yeah. But are you looking at ESPN like you usually do?
Yep.
And it's not updated on there?
It is 37-45. It is updated.
Oh, it does say 45. I thought you just said 44. All right. Well, we can wrap this one up here. We can talk about playoff matchups as things go along further. I'll probably put up some more TikTok and YouTube content as well to do that. But there are our 3 teams for All-NBA, and there's our interview with the one and only talented Blake. That'll be a nice milestone in the hoop theory lore.
That's cool.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody listening. Appreciate it. Stay happy. Stay healthy. We will talk to you guys next episode.
Peace.